talked about this, Satan hindering him. So I thought about, man, what are hindrances? What are hindrances to the work of the Lord in our life? Well, it's certainly if we don't respond to investments right, we're going to be hindered. If we don't invest in people, then obviously the work of the Lord is going to be hindered, because we could be, maybe I've seen this, certain people in the past where they want to do the work of the Lord, but they want to do it for themselves. They don't want to invest in anybody else. Well, so what actually ends up happening is that no one's trained and equipped, and the work of the Lord doesn't go forth. That'll hinder you. So if you don't invest in people and you don't respond properly to investments, the work of the Lord will be hindered in your life. But there's a few other things, just running the references on hinder. Certainly Satan can hinder us. We have the reference here, but we also see 1 Peter 5, verse 8, where he says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And he says in context of open doors, that adversary is Satan. But he says in 1 Corinthians 16:9, for a great door and effectual is opened unto me, and there are many adversaries. So Satan works when open doors become available. So Satan certainly can be a hindrance in, spiritual darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places, not just Satan himself, but of course, demonic force and all of that. All right, but something else that can be a hindrance if we're not careful is another believer, or us to another believer that's trying to give themselves to the work of the Lord. But Galatians 5:7, he says, ye did run well, past tense. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? So we got to be careful who's around our life. We got to be careful who we lend time to and that kind of thing. We got to be cautious about that. And then lastly, something that can hinder us in the work of the Lord is actually our marriages. So us individually, as husbands, if you're a man, of course, but I can hinder my own self in the work of the Lord in my relationship with my spouse. And I'm saying that because the same word shows up in 1 Peter 3:7, where it says that we're to dwell with our let me just read it. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. And someone could say, well, Dylan, that's not your prayer life, not the work of the Lord. But it is our prayer life that precedes us and brings power and brings involvement from Christ into the work of the Lord on our behalf. And so what work of the Lord am I going to be involved in that's without prayerfulness? There won't be. And so that's just a sidebar. So